Warriors United Again, written by Logan Highsmith, co-author Thaddeus Lawrenson. Prologue. Life has a funny way of throwing us into the depths of madness. In the blink of an eye, everything we thought we knew can be turned on its head. It started as a simple tale of friendship, with my friend group, known as the Warriors, by my side. But as the years went by, we discovered a dark truth that shook us to our very core. The girl who I once called my girlfriend, Peyton, was behind it all. She had been watching us, always one step ahead with her drones. In our attempt to stop her, tragedy struck. 2 people lost their lives, my Aunt Jennifer and Terry. It was a heavy burden to bear, knowing that it was all because of Peyton's twisted plans. As if that wasn't enough, she and her new boyfriend, Jose, threatened to disrupt a special event that we had planned. A dance known as the Night to Shine, which my friend Abby and I were attending. But with the stakes at an all-time high, they made the decision to play defense and not show up. Thankfully, my friend Dyson reminded me of one crucial aspect: logic. He reminded me of how we were able to reunite with our old friend Brennan and gain the trust of Hula once again. If we could do that one more time, then surely we could unite the group once more and put an end to this madness once and for all. This is our journey, filled with treacherous obstacles and unexpected twists, lots of unexpected twists. But with the determination and unwavering loyalty of my friends by my side, we will conquer whatever challenges come our way. For it is in the face of insanity that true strength and resilience are revealed. If only we had known about this earlier, me and my buddies would have never fallen into this chaotic trap. I mean, seriously, it's hilarious when you think about it. This whole mess began because I got sucked into Thaddeus's girl drama. It all started innocently enough. Thaddeus, being the smooth talker that he is, convinced me to help him out with his crush Madison. Little did I know that it would lead to a series of disastrous events. I should have known better than to meddle in affairs of the heart. Now, Madison happened to have a friend named Catherine who didn't really like Thaddeus and I. As luck would have it, from that moment on, it was like we were living in a soap opera. She became our enemy, plotting against us at every turn. All because I couldn't keep my nose out of someone else's love life. Looking back, it's comical how one simple act turned into a full-blown war. We were dragged into this madness, trying to come out unscathed. But let me tell you, it was one roller coaster ride we never wanted to take again. The ironic realization of being unintentionally ensnared in an entrapment that was seemingly unforeseen is a humorous observation. Our actions, driven by a misguided sense of righteousness, led us down a path towards engaging in a conflict with a mere child, a decision we believed to be morally upright. Several months had passed when we came across peculiar blurs, which we 2 years later discovered were produced by the drones. It was a year after this encounter that I met Peyton, with whom I entered into a relationship until her hidden truth was revealed a year later. Upon uncovering her dark secret, unfortunate events followed. My belief is that she harbors animosity towards individuals with disabilities. But that's not all. Before I moved to Grey Oak, I used to live in a place called Windmill Farms. I met so many wonderful people there, but now, most of them are gone. It's like they were just passing through my life, leaving behind a trail of broken promises and fading memories. I remember attending Johnson Elementary School before moving on to Rear in 6th grade. During those years, I met people who I thought would stick around, but they all eventually disappeared. It's like they were just fleeting characters in my story, here one day and gone the next. One of them was Aubrey, a girl I knew in 6th grade. She gave me a drawing she made of us together, but I was too scared of my parents' judgment to keep it. I threw it away, and it's now just a distant memory of a girl who once meant something to me, not romantically. Then there was Tori and Lexi, twin sisters I knew when I was little. They were some of my best friends, but one day, they just up and left. I never saw them again. In 4th grade, there was Gracie. I promised her I would visit her house during the summer, but I never got the chance. And like all my other friends, she slipped away from my life. It's not that I have bad luck with girls, I promise, don't make fun of me please. It's just that I'm not good at keeping friends, of both genders. Also most of my friends are girls. Anyway, that is about a recap of my life so far. Let's get to the present. Chapter 1. As I approached Justin's door, I proceeded to knock in the hope of receiving a response. After approximately 5 minutes, he answered, which was the usual duration of wait. Greetings, Logan. May I inquire as to the current state of affairs? Justin inquired. Well, I began, proceeding to elucidate the situation. Despite our initial disbelief, unfortunate events have transpired. I continued to provide further details. So, Peyton is exhibiting defensive behavior. Justin probed. Indeed. I believe it would be beneficial for us to have a conversation with Thaddeus regarding. I was interrupted by Justin's interjection. Unfortunately, Thaddeus is currently out of reach. His whereabouts are unknown, Justin informed. I suppose he is preoccupied with his new romantic partner, I joked playfully. There appears to be a wealth of options in seeking assistance, Justin cleverly interjected. My curiosity piqued, I inquired, pray tell, who else may we turn to for aid? Without missing a beat, Justin proceeded to rattle off a plethora of names: Brennan, Grayson, Nathaniel, Caden, Jaden. Feeling overwhelmed with the multitude of choices, I confidently stated, thank you for your thorough recommendations, Justin. I believe I have an understanding now. In every team or group dynamic, there is always one member who stands out as the glue that holds everything together. For us, that person is Thaddeus. We have come to rely on him for his quick thinking, problem-solving skills, and unwavering determination. Justin exclaimed, I mean, isn't Thaddeus usually here to get us out of a pickle? We regrouped and began brainstorming ideas. It was a bit challenging without Thaddeus's input, but we managed to come up with a viable plan. We realized that Thaddeus has instilled in us his problem-solving skills, and it was time for us to put them into practice. I stated, we can find a way, with or without help from Thaddeus. As I walked into school the following day, my ears perked up when I heard Peyton and Jose engaged in a conversation about Hala and Ryan. It seemed like Peyton had some juicy information to share. So, get this, Jose began, leaning in closer. The other night, I invited Hala and Ryan to the pizza place where I work. And what do you think they were most interested in? Free pizza, of course. Jose chuckled, clearly amused by their obliviousness to his true intentions. Peyton's response caught my attention, as she seemed to have a different angle on the situation. You know, Ryan can't stand me. I have no idea why, but he always seems to be suspicious of me, she muttered, her eyes darting around to make sure no one was eavesdropping. I was tempted to chime in and tell them that it was no surprise Ryan was distrustful of Peyton, but I held my tongue. I didn't want to get involved in her drama any more than I already was. Peyton seemed to sense my hesitation. I knew better than to add fuel to the fire. The notion of Ryan harboring suspicion towards Peyton prompted me to consider the potential leverage that could be gained for the collective benefit. It is quite possible that Ryan possessed information beyond my own knowledge, despite my extensive understanding of the situation. This includes the distressing fact that Peyton's actions have resulted in numerous casualties. Later on, while navigating my day, I unexpectedly ran into Hala. In an intriguing turn of events, Hala posed a question to me: "Logan, have you by any chance crossed paths with Grant?" Interestingly enough, it had not occurred to me at that moment to have seen Grant. "When can I have a confidential conversation with Ryan Fawzi?" It would be impractical to suggest meeting in the esports room. If I were to do so, I would have to convince him that it's purely for recreational purposes, rather than any ulterior motive. Bringing Hala into the equation would be a clever approach, as I could easily convince her to join us. The only hurdle would be the fact that Ryan may not be familiar with the games at the esports room. However, I could simply deceive him about the games available. This opportunity could be crucial in extracting any information he may have about Peyton. The matter at hand is that Ryan scarcely bothers to peruse his electronic correspondence nowadays. Thus, how may I effectively convey my message? One resolution could be to rely on serendipitous encounters in the hallway. The next day, Grant came back. Anyway, I came to the realization that with him in the picture I may be able to make this work. The plan was simple. Step 1. Invite Grant to first esports meeting and have Hala and Ryan join him. Step 2. Whenever Hala and Grant are distracted and ultimately decided to go make out or do whatever other things people do when they think no one else is watching, I will ask Ryan if we can talk in private. Step 3. Get the info I need from Ryan and hope I don't get seen by Hala and Grant, because that could go to a whole other level. Step 4. Ryan decides it is boring and leaves, and I tell Hala he went home whenever she asks where Ryan is. This can't go wrong, surely it can't go wrong. Chapter 2. The intended course of events was unfortunately derailed as Grant's absence was unavoidable due to his prior commitment to the Dungeons and Dragons Club. This unforeseen circumstance has compromised the execution of our plan, prompting a desire for a fortuitous occurrence to salvage the situation. The predicament at hand leaves me with a sense of wonderment. How am I to obtain the desired information from Ryan without risking the exposure of everything to my parents? Whether I choose to communicate via email or engage in a conversation with him in the hallway, I am bound to face countless interrogations from others. Regrettably, Ryan happens to be the sole individual who potentially holds the answers I seek. In a typical art class that same day, as we sat at our desks, surrounded by paints, brushes and other art supplies, I never got the chance to ask Ryan about his anxieties regarding Peyton. Mr. Hunt delved into a thought-provoking theory about time. Mr. Hunt's lecture revolved around the concept of alternate universes, creating a fascinating atmosphere in the classroom. He explained that the theory suggests that there could be parallel worlds existing alongside our own, which may have the same people and events but with different outcomes. Unfortunately, the D&D club has been cancelled, Grant informed me as he entered the esports room with a somber expression. He did not bring Hala with him today, which is quite ironic. It seems like I would have to resort to plan B, not getting help from Ryan. Upon arriving at my abode, it occurred to me to pay a visit to Thaddeus, and ascertain his availability. In response to my rap upon his door, Thaddeus disclosed, "Indeed, I am under the scrutiny of my parents for a considerable duration due to my regrettable actions." Interrupting his statement, I interjected, "I presume they discovered your romantic involvement with a young lady." To which he replied with a hint of surprise, "Close, but not precisely." Why was the household unoccupied? Were the occupants either subject to a disciplinary action or away on a trip, perhaps? Inquisitiveness was evanescent as Nathaniel energetically sprinted down the lane, still devoid of means of transportation, to my dismay. "Greetings, Logan," Nathaniel saluted as we made our way into my abode to engage in video games. However, our ardor soon dissipated, leading us to devise daring stunts. Each proposal put forth by Nathaniel seemed entailing the potential for legal repercussions, save for one. "Say, fellow comrade, I have an audacious feat for you. Do you recall the young lady from a couple of years back, Catherine? I challenge you to rouse her by knocking upon her door," Nathaniel impishly imparted. "In all honesty, is it because you harbor an interest for her?" I countered, attempting to deflect the impetus onto Nathaniel's intentions. "I assure you, it is merely to witness the outcome," Nathaniel responded. I then rationalized the prospects of success, only to discover the potential for three divergent outcomes. Nonetheless, I acquiesced, hoping that she would not be present, and thus, obligingly affirmed, "I shall comply." Chapter 3. Nathaniel made a prompt decision, blessed by Providence. However, unbeknownst to me, I was on the cusp of an encounter with something deeply unsettling. The following day, I was overcome with a disconcerting premonition of impending misfortune or, at the very least, a less than favorable event. I overheard my mother's commanding tone as she called out to Alexis, instructing her from downstairs. In response, Alexis firmly replied, "I apologize, but I am currently occupied. Kindly grant me a moment." As I intently listened, my ears were met with the peculiar chime of a ticking clock, sending a shiver of fear down my spine. As the minutes ticked by, a sense of apprehension washed over me. It almost felt like a countdown to an unknown event. Scheduled for that day was a trip to the theater with my parents, Alexis, and my granny. However, my granny seemed to be taking her time, causing a delay. This prompted my mother to check on her, and what followed was a series of events that left us all in a state of shock. "Mom, are you all right?" my mom asked, concerned for my granny's welfare. To clarify, my granny is my mother's mother. Her response was a frozen and motionless state, resembling a stroke. Panic set in as my mom frantically probed, "What is your name?" "Patty Smith," she managed to utter. Seeking further clarity and hoping to alleviate any serious medical concern, she questioned her about the current U.S. president. Amidst silence, it was apparent that she was unable to provide an answer. Fearing her well-being, my mom implored, "Mom, who is the president?" Her uncertain response, "I don't know, Trump," only heightened our concern. With the gravity of the situation becoming clear, my mother promptly contacted the authorities. Professional assistance was needed, and soon my granny was transported to the hospital for prompt medical attention. "Is she going to be okay?" I inquired. My mother replied, "Yes, she is probably just a bit disoriented. I assure you, she will be fine." I couldn't help but voice my doubts. "But you said the same thing about Aunt Jennifer and Terry, and look at what became of them." To clear my head, I went to hang with Justin and Jayden to chill for a while. We received a call from one of our own, Grayson. "Hey guys," he said. "I know, it's been a while." I said, "What do you mean? I haven't been around. I've been traveling all over the world. I'll be back soon," Grayson said. On the ensuing day, I engaged in conversation with Mr. Hunt and Ryan Fawzi. During the discourse, Mr. Hunt imparted a valuable piece of wisdom that has profoundly resonated with me. He aptly admonished, in the event that an individual criticizes your perceived imperfection, it would be prudent to recognize that they too may have shortcomings of their own. This sage advice from Mr. Hunt has truly left a lasting impression on me. After careful consideration, I went ahead with the idea despite it not being ideal. In light of Peyton's past relations with Nathan Barnhill, whom she had falsely accused of misconduct, I came up with a solution that would involve both Nathan and a girl from my ASL class last year named MIA. Recognizing Peyton's tendency to spread rumors about me, I saw an opportunity to shift the narrative by retaliating with false rumors of my own. However, this was just the first step in my plan. A pivotal part of my strategic plan involves the involvement of the Fawzi siblings. However, it was imperative that Hala, our key collaborator, was kept in the dark about this approach. I devised a clever ruse that would employ Morse code to communicate a message for Hala to send, encouraging Peyton to take action. The aim is to create a scenario that would potentially provoke Peyton's aggressive tendencies, thus revealing any unethical behavior and allowing us to take necessary action. With the potential support of a larger group, safeguarded by Ryan or Grant, I hope to hold Peyton accountable for her actions by either sending her to I.S.S. or implementing a more severe consequence. When faced with the challenge of proving someone's negative traits, the best course of action is to simply bring them to the surface. Chapter 4. In the subsequent week, unforeseen circumstances necessitated a reassessment of our original plan. Fortunately, my granny's health remained stable. However, an unexpected decision by Ryan Fawzi to accelerate his academic progress required a revision in our approach. Despite this unexpected development, I was hoping to retain the valuable assistance of Nathan Barnhill and MIA. Additionally, I thought the possibility of enlisting the support of former classmates from our American Sign Language, ASL, class. I told you last year that she was cheating on you. MIA exclaimed. Before she could continue, I interrupted, my words laced with a touch of resignation. It wasn't so much cheating as using me for her own selfish purposes. I was merely a pawn in her game. But MIA was not convinced. So, it was cheating, then, she exclaimed. Nathan Barnhill, who had been observing our exchange from the sidelines, couldn't help but interject with a mixture of amusement and exasperation. Are you two really fighting about this? MIA and I both responded with yes. Subsequent to the day's events, I sought solace within the confines of the library, contemplating the myriad of potential outcomes that lay ahead. A sense of trepidation washed over me as I grappled with the unanticipated consequences that could arise. Unbeknownst to me, Cole entered the library moments later. His presence elicited a sense of unease as he approached me, uttering the words, "Logan, I must inform you that I have observed a pattern between yourself and Abby." Interjecting before I could say anything, Cole exclaimed, "Do not attempt to cast aspersions. In an instant, I am prepared to divulge your purported relationship to others, including Hala, Grant, your parents, and even Peyton." In a moment of uncharacteristic vehemence, my voice resonated throughout the library, shattering the previous atmosphere of tranquility. "Abby and I are not a thing," I declared emphatically. My denial was heard by all present. "Plus, she's anti-romantic anyway," Cole I exclaimed, keeping my volume at a whisper to avoid the looks I was already getting. By the way, Abby was not 100% anti-romantic. I was lying to Cole. Also, she doesn't have any sort of interest in me and vice versa. We were just friends and Cole would need to accept that. "Logan, have you ever thought about the fact that it seems like she is kinda into you?" Cole exclaimed. "No girl is into me, Cole. I think that it's pretty clear after what happened with Peyton," I exclaimed. The bell rang and I bolted down the hallway after Cole. Chapter 5 // dash 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 / dash / dot dash dash / dash dash / / dash 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 / dash / dot dash dash / dash dash. This Morse code, do you know what it is or what it means? This is the message Hala will send to Peyton should everything work out. It states, you wanna fight, girl? Come on, bring it. School cafeteria, first thing tomorrow morning. Of course, if this works, Grant and I and who knows who else would have to jump in and protect Hala. So in a sense I'm putting Hala in danger in order to reveal the danger of someone else, if that makes any sense. Of course, to actually talk Hala into sending this I would have to come up with something very clever. Here is what I'm thinking. Hey Hala, you're so Jose wanted to send this message to Peyton in secret and wanted me to tell you. But don't ask her about it, she won't tell you because it is after all a secret. Saying this could totally work, right? That being said, I would of course have to spread some rumors first to get her mad, thus would have her angry enough to bring out her true self and show everyone. So, it was a rumor I spread indeed, well tried to at least. During chemistry class we had some free time, so I decided, since no one else was using the board, I would draw a picture of a really ugly looking girl and added a speech bubble that said I think I am so cool, and added an arrow that said Peyton be like. I got erased within 2 seconds, but hey, I tried. I really tried. It might be time to resort to plan B. Chapter 6. The next day, at home I was able to meet with Justin, Grayson shockingly, and Thaddeus of all people. I told them about everything that had happened and what I was thinking my answer to all this drama was. I could only hope it would all work out. So, wait just a second, you're gonna pit Peyton and Hala against each other? Grayson exclaimed. Yeah, that's how it's looking, I exclaimed. What if Hala gets hurt? Also, how do you explain this to her after the matter? Thaddeus exclaimed. That's a good question, it really is. I exclaimed. What if you're not there to help in time? Ryan Fawzi isn't there, he can't do much. I mean, who could help her if not us? Well, you. Justin asked. That's what Grant is for, I exclaimed. Oh yeah, I kinda forgot he existed for some reason, Justin exclaimed. The next day. It was advisory period. I went to hang out in the library. Of course, Cole Martinez of all people would show up. You know, Logan, really just thinking about last year it stings, you know, all that crazy stuff you did. Cole exclaimed. So, what of it? I asked. Well, have you ever just looked and thought, why has half the school turned against me? Well, the reason is very simple. For half the year last year you believed in a stupid dream and look where it got you. Cole exclaimed. I went on to explain everything to Cole. Okay, perhaps I was a little off. But then again, why lie in the first place when you only made worse drama for yourself? Cole exclaimed. Later I was talking to Ryan Unruh in computer science class. You know, Peyton would only get in trouble if Hala didn't attack back. She could get sent to IS or heck, even jail. Ryan exclaimed. This was when I knew I had to do it. I just had to hope Hala didn't attack her back. Chapter 7. So, before I drop the bomb about how this plan went down in flames like a disco in the 70s, let's play a little game of guesstimation. Take a wild stab at how this imploded like a wet firecracker on a rainy day. So what happened? In the hushed confines of an advisory session, a stealthy operation was brewing. Determined to finally expose Peyton, I mustered the courage to craft a very convincing email. *** subject, Hey Hala, care to help me out? *** Dear Hala, at the very much forced request of Jose, I'm forwarding this email to Peyton. Kindly refrain from translating the Morse code contained within. Jose has requested strict adherence to this instruction. warning that failure to comply will result in Jose getting very mad and possibly violent with the both of us. With a swift click, the email was dispatched. I had played my part in an intricate game of deception, orchestrating the ruse to expose Peyton. Yet, little did I know that my actions would unleash unexpected consequences. A few hours later, upon the conclusion of the academic session, I proceeded towards the designated space for sports club activities. As I made my way through the hallway, my presence appeared to be coinciding with both Grant and Hula. Hula's demeanor was marked by an uncharacteristic exuberance as she addressed me. "Logan, so you intend to challenge Peyton to a fight? You're gonna get your **** kicked. You deciphered the Morse code message?" I exclaimed. "Indeed," Hula replied. "I have examined the contents of the transmission. Your attempt to manipulate me into conveying that message to Peyton was transparent. Moreover, I must absolve Jose of any wrongdoing in this matter." In an unequivocal declaration, Hula voiced her unwavering support for her close companion, asserting, "Moreover, she is my best friend. Any aggression directed towards her will necessitate a confrontation with me." Her resolute demeanor and emphatic tone conveyed the seriousness of her stance as she walked off. "You've got a lot to explain," Grant exclaimed. So that I did, explained every bit and piece of everything to Grant, well, most of it anyway. "You were gonna pit Hula and Peyton against each other, thinking you could expose Peyton, but at what cost?" Grant asked. "No one was going to get hurt. Do you really think I would let Peyton hurt Hula? I know you would never forgive me if that happened," I exclaimed. "Plus, what I don't understand is, besides tricking you and spreading rumors about you, what has she actually done wrong?" Grant asked. "You really wanna know?" I asked. "Well, if it's that bad then yeah," Grant exclaimed. "Well, do you remember those stories I told you about those things that happened in my neighborhood? The conflict with Catherine after her brother died from getting shot by someone during the night. The yellow and blur blues that came out of thin air, or so it seemed. But last of all, last year when she tricked me into almost hurting Hula. When I broke up with her I found out something that not even you would believe," I exclaimed. "Well, seeing as I don't believe you about most stuff, I probably won't believe this," Grant exclaimed. "Do you remember when Peyton convinced me that some guy in a mask attacked her and she had me turned against you and Hula?" I asked. "Yeah, what of it?" Grant asked. "Well, last year she started acting strange when I brought up my past," I exclaimed. "And?" Grant asked. "Well, after our breakup Justin found some pictures of these blue drones after every incident in Grey Oak," I exclaimed. It took Grant a second to connect the dots. "Wait a second," Grant exclaimed. "So, I think I get it now. However, I do have one question. How do you know the drones are connected to Peyton at all?" Grant asked. "Well, since you asked, after she stated acting shady, it was at my game truck party last year. Justin was acting weird around her. After I broke up with her, he told me that she had given him the shady side eye, well, the bombastic side eye, if you know I mean. It wasn't long after that he found the drones, and when I told him of her acting shady, we were able to connect the dots after Peyton and I broke up," I exclaimed. "Oh dang, can't say I saw that one coming." "Hula deserves to know the truth," Grant exclaimed. "Agreed, Hula deserves to know everything," I exclaimed. Ryan Unruh walked into the room. "Did I miss something?" Ryan Unruh exclaimed. Chapter 8 ***2 Logan **** from Peyton **** Subject Very important Logan, as Hala has informed me of the situation, I must strongly advise you to refrain from involving Jose. He has done no wrong and is not to be implicated in this matter. If you continue to pursue actions against me despite knowing you can't win, I will be compelled to take decisive steps to address the issue myself. This may include involving your parents. My mind raced as I absorbed the implications of Peyton's email. She was aware of everything. She knows. I exclaimed in disbelief. Suddenly, a glimmer of realization dawned on me. If she invoked my parents, I could seize the initiative and turn the tables in my favor. I decided I needed to share the truth of everything with Hala. Upon sharing the truth with Hala, I was met with an unexpected response. Peyton is not the villain here, you are, she declared. This juvenile behavior must stop. Hala stormed off in anger. The plan I devised was not as stupid as my previous fails. Instead, I intended to present a straightforward narrative. If Peyton were to confront my parents, alleging that I had accused her of wrongdoing through email and other means, I would calmly respond, Peyton, stop fabricating and tell them the truth. During advisory, I overheard you and Jose speaking disparagingly about me. I subsequently tested you by leaving my computer unlocked while pretending to visit the restroom. You sent those emails, and I witnessed it firsthand. Now, should this work, there would of course be a few obstacles, minor setbacks at that. And then, there was a major setback. Hala told Peyton absolutely everything, to which she told Jose, to which her and Jose told their friends, to which. I think you get where this is going, not anywhere good. I got another email for Peyton stating the following from Peyton, to Logan, okay, I'm really getting tired and kinda mad when it comes to sending these emails, so you know what? I'll tell you what you want to hear. Yes, I did lie last year, I will admit it was fun while it lasted. To which I replied. You got more to tell me, don't you? You still have so much to figure out. Peyton replied, you act like I know nothing. I replied, no reply after that. Chapter 9. The next day at Nathaniel's house. Hey guys, you won't believe what happened, I exclaimed, my voice laced with a mixture of fear and anxiety. What's up? Thaddeus asked, his piercing gaze meeting mine. It's Peyton, I blurted out. She knows everything. A chorus of gasps filled the room. Brennan looked confused. Mr. Lott, haven't I? He muttered. You sure have, Nathaniel agreed, his expression grave. Alexis, of course, was absent from our meeting. Had she been present, we wouldn't have dared to discuss this. She was blissfully unaware of our secret, and we feared that if we told her, she would only report it to our parents, which is exactly what Peyton wanted. Ernest, still immersed in his Fortnite game, remained blissfully oblivious to our conversation. We took advantage of his distraction and headed downstairs for snacks. Nathaniel generously distributed an excessive number of Pop-Tarts, but Grayson couldn't resist expressing his concern. Are you sure this is okay? He asked. As long as my mom and dad don't find out, we're good, Nathaniel assured him. The conversion continued in a calming manner. However, the next day would be crazy, full of ups and downs, but also a slight glimmer of hope would present itself. But you know, sometimes, some truths are better hidden away, especially these ones. The ones that can make you question everything you thought you knew, make you wonder if you truly have any friends or who you can trust. Chapter 10. The next day. In the labyrinthine tapestry of life, where truths often lie concealed beneath layers of illusion, destiny has a way of weaving events that tear away the veil. It was amidst such a tumultuous chapter in my narrative that I stumbled upon a revelation that would forever alter the course of my perception. Despite my habitual tendency to embrace the unfathomable aspects of my existence with unquestioning resolve, the cataclysmic incident that lay before me would shatter this facade. As darkness enveloped my soul, casting a long shadow over my path, a flicker of hope emerged from the depths of despair. It was as if a radiant beacon had been ignited within the desolate void, illuminating something overlooked. Over the weekend, I had gotten a text from Grant talking about how they were all having fun at Pedro's party and that I wasn't there. By the way, yes, this is the same Pedro that me and Jace played Broken Picture Pwn with a few months ago. The next day at school. Pedro, I was wondering. I exclaimed before getting interrupted by Pedro. Why I didn't invite you to my party, right? Pedro exclaimed. Yes, that was exactly what I was going to ask. I exclaimed. Thought so, might as well just tell you, Pedro exclaimed. So that was what Pedro did, and his words would not only pierce through me like a knife, but also get me to really start thinking. So there was this kid who, I guess he used to know you back in middle school choir and he hated you a lot, like he really hated you, Pedro exclaimed. What does this have to do with me not getting invited? I asked. Let me finish. Pedro exclaimed. I'm not sharing names, but when I told him you were coming, he told me I could not invite you and I gave in. The saddest part, he didn't even end up coming. Pedro exclaimed. You could not have invited me at that point. I exclaimed. Pedro then proceeded to say words that would pierce me like a knife. Well, the second reason why you could not have been invited was because no one else really wanted you there either. Grant, Dyson, the others, you would have just messed up the whole thing. Pedro exclaimed. Hey, that's not true, I didn't say that, Jace exclaimed. Pedro started to break down in tears. I think he realized his wrongdoings. Perhaps that was a little too harsh, Pedro exclaimed. You think I gonna find whoever said I could not come and beat the living daylights out of them, I exclaimed. I was about to run out of the room before Jace grabbed me. Logan, you already have enough problems in your life. Do you really want more people to hate you? Jace exclaimed. You're right, I already have enough problems. Can't even deal with those, I exclaimed. Perhaps you could put yourself in the shoes of the person you are trying to stop. Think about what they might do next and you could beat them to it, Jace exclaimed. Hey Logan, I know how to make this all up to you. The others didn't mean what they said. We were all just mad and annoyed, and well, Grant was just Grant. How about at the end of the year, the last week of school, we have this huge party with all of us there and you could be the one to host it, so that way you could choose who you want to invite. Pedro exclaimed. I thought about taking Jace's advice about putting yourself in the shoes of the person you are trying to stop. Also perhaps that party wasn't such a bad idea, you know, after this is all over. At least, until my parents made me cancel the party. Chapter 11. I'm not scared anymore. Everything that has happened up to this point has pushed and pulled me in ways I never expected. Thus, I feel I am no longer my old self, no longer a boy, but a man. Very soon, Peyton would tell my parents everything and this would either end badly for me or for her. In the hallway, I encountered Hala. Her voice crackled like static. Logan, this madness must cease. A surge of contempt welled within me as I beheld her fragile facade. Mayhap you recollect, Hala, that your own mind teeters on the precipice of chaos, I exclaimed. Yet in your misguided delusions, you dare to lecture me. Suffer me to remind you, had you heeded my warnings when I sought to unveil the truth, we would not wallow in this cesspool of despair, I intoned. Allow me to elucidate once more, perchance this feeble mind of yours will grasp the abyss. My existence has been a torrent of chaos. I began, before Hala's shrill interruption. You engaged in a pugilistic confrontation with a mere child and witnessed enigmatic blurs preceding your acquaintance with Peyton, she rattled on. How did you acquire such knowledge? I thundered, my voice reverberating through the oppressive silence. Peyton herself divulged it to me, she replied. Of course, in that moment it was clear that Peyton knew lots about me and that I was right. She incensed me against you by exploiting my fury over your revelation of her true nature, I continued. And when she deemed me unworthy, Justin unearthed photographic evidence of drones hovering over Grey Orc during each occurrence. What bearing does this have on Peyton? Hala demanded, her vacuous intellect struggling to comprehend. I elaborated. Peyton exhibited an unsettling degree of knowledge about my past when I confided in her. The pattern became undeniable when I realized I had never disclosed such details. Still, I cannot fathom the connection. Hala wailed. Exasperation consumed me as I once again articulated my torturous ordeal, only to be met with the same impenetrable wall of ignorance. Are you utterly devoid of reason? I exploded. I never told Peyton those things, do you understand? When I got home, recognizing the need for a collective discussion, I reached out to my companions via our group chat. Meet up at Thaddeus's place, guys, the text message summoned them. As fate would have it, we assembled in Thaddeus's bedroom. However, the presence of Brooklyn and Lily stirred unease within us. Despite their limited knowledge of the matter at hand, we resolved to shroud them in secrecy. Entering the room, Eva and Johnny voiced their concerns. What's going on here? They inquired. An air of maturity permeated the atmosphere as Thaddeus asserted, this is a grown-up conversation. You guys don't need to be involved. Eva countered, but we've been through everything together thus far. It's only right that we be involved in this too, Johnny included. Justin interjected with a contemplative thought. Is it possible that Hala understands everything we're saying, but is simply too afraid to accept the truth about Peyton? I believe she's been comprehending this all along. Could be true. I mean, I've had a hard time accepting truths before, Nathaniel acknowledged with a sigh. What kind of truths? I inquired with concern. Stuff at home, with family. Nothing you guys need to know about. I mean, not that I mean to keep stuff from you guys, but this is a little too personal, Nathaniel explained, his voice trailing off. Hey dude, it's fine, we get it. Some truths are better left unsaid, Grayson offered, a hint of understanding in his tone. I hesitated for a moment before continuing. I mean, it's not like I could just go and confront Peyton, even though I think Hala understands. She would pretend like she didn't know, I think, because she doesn't want to lose her friendship with Peyton. Perhaps you could, Grayson suggested, his brow furrowed in contemplation. I mean, she thinks we only know half of what we really know. Stand up to her, tell her what we really know, and see how she reacts. Chapter 12. In the solitude of my home, I found myself engaged in an introspective dialogue. The words flow effortless as I address myself. Peyton, my life thus far has been an unrelenting torrent of chaos and drama. Pausing to reflect, I question the adequacy of my initial statement. Nah, that doesn't quite capture it, I muttered to myself. I strived for a more nuanced expression. She believes I am oblivious to her machinations, I told myself, a hint of bitterness tinging my thoughts. I had better wording, I just didn't know how to word it. That probably doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Believe me, I know. I had a better idea of what to say when I was 12. I moved into Grey Oak. It all started with a fight with this one girl. She told us of a tragic event that had happened to her brother that had turned her into the person she was. We of course didn't believe her and instead decided that simply because she beat me up so she had to suffer. So from fight after fight, it became worse and worse. In the end the Djurz's dad kicked her off the street and we never saw her again, probably not even a year. Later we started seeing these strange yellow and blue blurs. Some stuff happened and they went away. A year later, I meant you lied about Nathan Barnhill, poor guy. Then after Hulla told my parents about us you tried to turn me against her with your story. Not only that but when I told you about my past you acted real sus. After we broke up, Justin not only told me about how you gave him the bombastic side eye, but also it wasn't coincidence that you acted strange when I told you about every event that happened in Grey Oak. Justin and I found pictures of blue drones around the time of every incident. They had projectors on the bottom. That was where the blurs came from. We very quickly made the connection. You were behind all of it, but why? Chapter 13. The situation worsened the next day, my friends distancing themselves and aligning with Peyton's crew. Even Hulla and Grant had become her acolytes. Hulla brushed me off coldly, while Grant dismissed me as an inexperienced autistic moron. That's when I realized I had to confront Peyton. She had poisoned my friendships, and it had reached a breaking point. All my friends had turned against me, save perhaps for Jack who... Oh, right. Jack. He was the one I needed to reach out to. However, I hesitated. What if he dismissed me as insane again? Yet, what could he accuse me of being delusional about this time? I overheard Peyton and her friends gossiping in the corridor. Think about all of it, Grant and Hulla, she said with venom. Those autistic kids are the cause of all this trouble. They're nothing but burdens. Let's just get rid of Logan, Peyton proposed, unaware I was within earshot. Guess what, Peyton, I interjected abruptly. I'm right here. Oh, my God, it's the autistic freak, Jose sneered. Oh, Logan. Grant drawled with a hint of mockery. Well, Peyton, I countered, I have a revelation for you. Hulla hesitated. Wait. I want to see where this goes. Peyton declared with glee. A few hours earlier. As my plan to confront Peyton was soon to unravel, I faced the realization that I would need assistance. However, with Thaddeus and our former allies absent from school, I was forced to seek support within the confines of my current campus. After careful deliberation, I resolved to enlist the aid of 3 trusted individuals, Abigail Easter, Nathan Barnhill, and Ryan Fawzi. While I had previously stated that Ryan had transferred schools to expedite his graduation, his friend Tyler had informed me that he intended to return this week. Despite his reputation for unpredictability, I believed he could prove invaluable to our cause. With their assistance, I hoped to navigate the complexities of the confrontation with Peyton and ensure that my plan worked. What I was thinking was as follows: I would stand up to Peyton alongside Nathan and Abby. Meanwhile, Ryan Fawzi would distract Hulla and Grant. No way, this will all backfire and almost get me killed, right? And if by some chance I wasn't able to get the help from any of the listed individuals, I would wing it. I would first get the assistance of Nathan Barnhill, after that, Abby, and then Ryan Fawzi. I wasn't able to locate Nathan for a period of the day, however I did bump into Abby Easter by some chance. This seems like a big task for someone like me to undertake. It's Peyton we're talking about. Not only is she taller than me, but she is also stronger than me. To make matters worse, Peyton has everyone convinced I'm dating you, Abby exclaimed. I'll admit, I would feel pretty bad if something happened to you. Plus you've already done so much for me, I should not be pulling you into more of my personal drama, I exclaimed. Abby, you were there for me when I needed you. If it weren't for you I would have never had a date to the homecoming dance, I exclaimed. Don't forget about what happened at night to Shine, Abby exclaimed. Yeah, but that night didn't go so great for either of us, I exclaimed. Before recounting the unfolding events and the pivotal assistance I received from Nate, it is imperative to revisit a captivating element. Ryan Forzy, a master of unexpected twists. Remember the assertion that he was full of surprises? Fate, it seems, had a different plan in mind. Ryan, stating he was going to return for the week, did not. Hey Abby, guess what? I exclaimed. I'm sure you're gonna tell me, Abby stated. Would you believe it if I told you Ryan didn't return to school? I exclaimed. Abby just cracked up. That's funny, it's Ryan, of course he doesn't just come back, Abby exclaimed. I happened to notice Grant and Hulla. Hulla's gaze bore into me like a fiery sword, her voice venom incarnate. Logan, shut the H** up right now and get out of my sight. My head whipped towards Abby. I'm going to step out. Give me a moment, I exclaimed, unfazed by her previous reluctance. Abby declared, I'm joining you, prompting me to reluctantly acquiesce. Very well, Abby, you may accompany me. Hush, let's stay close and listen. I suspect Peyton may have influenced her against you, Abby whispered. She and Grant have been spending a lot of time with Peyton lately. Cautiously, we followed, but we believe they were aware of our presence as they swiftly entered the choir room. Grant is in the choir, I exclaimed, my astonishment evident. I've never noticed him there. Abby's voice echoed my confusion. Me neither. It's strange, considering we're in the same grade. Well, that's probably because you're in the girls' choir, I reasoned. Grant is a boy, so he would be in the boys' choir. But wait, Abby interjected, her eyes widening. You were in the boys' choir last year. Grant wasn't there. Intrigued, I realized the anomaly. We can discuss the past later, I proposed. As we entered the dimly lit room with cautious steps, the weight of anticipation hung in the air. Suddenly, a soft knock on the wall startled us. Turning our heads, we encountered Nathan Barnhill's piercing gaze. What are you up to? Nathan inquired. Shh, I whispered. We're observing. Observing. May I partake in your reconnaissance? Nathan requested. Only if you remain quiet, I urged. Inside the room, the atmosphere crackled with tension. Hulla's voice reverberated through the silence. Something isn't right, she exclaimed. It's Logan, that's the problem, Grant countered. I'm tired of Peyton's opinions. What if Logan is correct? Hulla challenged. He's not. Grant protested vehemently. But didn't you just agree with me? Hulla pressed. And Peyton? Grant exclaimed, his voice laced with frustration. Sorry to interrupt this moment, but I think we all need to talk, I exclaimed. Oh God, what does this inexperienced autistic moron want? Grant exclaimed. We need to talk, Logan, in private, Hulla exclaimed. Okay, but I don't have all day, I exclaimed. Hulla, lead me into the room with the piano. As I entered the room, Hulla's voice echoed with a newfound determination. I believe you, she declared confidently. A flicker of surprise crossed my face. Really? I asked cautiously. Yes, Hulla responded emphatically. And we will help you. I can finally put my acting skills to genuine use. Now, repeat your story, this time with more detail. With renewed hope, I unfolded the intricate tale once more. As I recounted the events, Hula's eyes widened in realization. "Oh my God, that makes sense," she exclaimed. "The girl Peyton claimed deserved punishment, that was Catherine. These drones are not a figment of your imagination, are they? They're the source of the blurry figures." Nathan Barnhill interjected, "And she lied about me." "Yes, and she tried to manipulate me against you," Hula I added. As I continued my explanation, Hula's anxiety grew palpable. She paced the room, her mind racing. Just then, Grant entered, and Hula's gaze locked with his. "Grant, how long have you known about all this?" Hula asked with almost tears flowing down her eyes. "Can I add something on?" I asked. "Sure," Hula exclaimed. "My Aunt Jennifer and Terry also died," I exclaimed before Hula interrupted me from the drones. Hula exclaimed. "Precisely," I exclaimed. "Hula, I have known even since Logan told me," Grant exclaimed. "Then why did you?" Hula exclaimed before Grant interrupted her, tears running down his face. "You were being influenced by her." "I didn't want to lose you over all this," Grant exclaimed. "A lot might happen, but you will never lose me, Grant," Hula exclaimed. "Okay, so with everything settled, what do we do?" I asked. "Why don't they just pretend to be on her side?" Abby suggested. "Not a bad idea," I exclaimed. Chapter 14. What kind of revelation do you have for me, Logan? Peyton asked. "Well, Peyton, it was something I found out over the summer. When I was 12, I moved into Grey Oak. It all started with a fight with this one girl. She told us of a tragic event that had happened to her brother that had turned her into the person she was. We of course didn't believe her and instead decided that simply because she beat me up so she had to suffer. So from fight after fight, it became worse and worse. In the end, the Dioz's dad kicked her off the street and we never saw her again. Probably not even a year later we started seeing these strange yellow and blue blurs. Some stuff happened and they went away. A year later, I meant you lied about Nathan Barnhill, poor guy. Then after Hula told my parents about us, you tried to turn me against her with your story. Not only that, but when I told you about my past you acted real sus. After we broke up, Justin not only told me about how you gave him the bombastic side eye, but also it wasn't coincidence that you acted strange when I told you about every event that happened in Grey Oak. Justin and I found pictures of blue drones around the time of every incident. They had projectors on the bottom. That was where the blurs came from. We very quickly made the connection. You were behind all of it, but why? I exclaimed. How did you discover it? Peyton questioned, her voice laced with a mixture of curiosity and astonishment. Justin harbored his suspicions for a prolonged period following the game truck mishap, I explained, my tone conveying a sense of acceptance. Naturally, he did. Peyton chuckled, a hint of amusement in her voice. You're not going to deny it? I inquired. In an ominous tone, Peyton confronted me, declaring, your fate is sealed this evening. The school awards ceremony will be your downfall, as your guardians shall be in attendance. Their presence provides me with the perfect opportunity to unveil your misdeeds. This ends tonight. Peyton's laughter echoed through the halls, a chilling testament to her malicious intent. See you tonight, Logan, she taunted, her eyes glinting with triumph. The sinister implications of her words hung heavy in the air as she walked away. Grant and Hula chose to stay behind. It's gonna be okay, Logan, you're gonna stop her before she can do anything, Major Grant exclaimed. And if I can't? I asked. Well, I can intervene if I need to. I'm sure Abby and Nathan won't let anything happen either, Hulla exclaimed. Well, like she said, it's tonight. I don't even have the chance to go home, I exclaimed. Suddenly I saw a head peek around the corner. The autistic punk is gonna get it. All the autistic kids are gonna get it, right, Hulla? Jose exclaimed. Right. Hulla exclaimed sarcastically as Jose turned the hallway. Chapter 15. Amidst the trials and tribulations endured, a moment of reckoning had arrived. Bonds forged were severed, only to be reunited. Tonight, a decisive confrontation awaited. With newfound courage, I would confront my adversary. Her presence would ignite the spark of liberation, bringing this prolonged torment to its long-awaited end. The veil would be lifted, revealing the truth and setting free the chains that had held me captive. As the night fell, anticipation soared. I was ready to unveil the darkness and emerge victorious, leaving behind the torment of the past and embracing a future filled with clarity and redemption. As the words Logan Highsmith echoed through the auditorium, a hush fell over the crowd. I stepped onto the stage to receive my award. Suddenly, the atmosphere shattered as Peyton approached the microphone. This is bad, I thought to myself. Spotlight on me, Peyton exclaimed, her voice dripping with sarcasm. Don't do this, I whispered desperately. You see this boy, Peyton declared, her gaze piercing into mine. He is a threat to all of you. He sends me mean emails, threatening me with violence. A collective gasp rippled through the audience as my world started spinning. You have no idea what you're talking about, Hulla erupted, her voice trembling with indignation. You're trying to ruin his life because he's different from you. You're a bully. The audience gasped again, their eyes glued to the unfolding drama. With eyes blazing like molten fire, Peyton turned her piercing gaze upon us. Her knuckles cracked, forming fists that whispered promises of swift and uncompromising destruction. Prepare for the dance of ultimate reckoning, she hissed, her voice a venomous whisper that sent chills down our spines. Let the blood flow, and let the earth tremble beneath our feet. I got slammed against the wall. I think I even felt some blood run down my face. Leave him alone, Alexis screamed. My sister ran over to Hulla, Grant and the others. We have to do something, Alexis exclaimed. We can take her on together, Grant exclaimed. Wait. We need backup. Thaddeus and Brooklyn should be here, Alexis exclaimed. Seconds later, punches were being thrown across the room. Jose, Roman, Sonia. Peyton called out the names of her friends as they all joined the rumble. Hulla ducked under Jose and punched him in the back of the head. Take that, you little b***********, Hulla exclaimed. Oh, you didn't, Peyton exclaimed. I did. What are you gonna do about it, Hulla exclaimed. Amidst the chaos, Peyton lunged at Hulla with unwavering ferocity. In a swift move, Grant intervened, knocking her off balance. Don't just stand there, run, Grant implored. Unbeknownst to Peyton, her adversary was far from defeated. I slammed Roman to the ground and raced towards her. Oh, it's you, Roman exclaimed. Yes, the little jerk from 6th grade. How could I forget? I retorted. Peyton took center stage, her voice laced with a venomous hatred. I despise all autistic children. I will annihilate every single one of them. I will not rest until they are all dead. Why though? I inquired, a glimmer of confusion in my voice. Are you truly asking me why? Peyton sneered. Yes, I asked you why. I insisted. Because all autistic children are monsters, as you have so aptly demonstrated, Peyton proclaimed. In that instant, a profound realization dawned upon me. Every action I had taken had painted me as a heartless fiend, validating Peyton's vile accusations. I confronted Peyton with indignation. You justify harming others based on their differences. Certainly, Peyton sneered. And there's nothing you can do about it. A swift kick to Peyton's back interrupted her. Fashionably late, aren't we? Cheyenne exclaimed, Hunter at her side. We've brought reinforcements, Hunter added as Zack and Azzy joined them. Well done, Team Abby said, fist bumping me. Peyton, it seems you're outnumbered, Nathan remarked. Peyton slammed me against a wall. I'll end the source of this madness, she threatened. At that moment, Peyton's father entered. Peyton! Mr. Burleson exclaimed. What's going on here? Peyton remained silent. I believe you have the right to remain so, Mr. Burleson said. With Peyton's mother, they dragged her from the room as she kicked and screamed, I'll get you, Logan Kenneth Highsmith. I'll kill all of you. In the background, I heard her father suggest she needed therapy. We did it, Thaddeus exclaimed. Yes, we did, Hala agreed. I approached the stage. What will we do about Peyton's friends? I asked. Leave them to the school, Hunter advised. Logan, you're okay, my mother said, visibly relieved. You gave me quite a scare, Alexis added. We believe you can overcome any challenge now, my father declared. You killed it out there, man, he exclaimed. As he smiled, his heart warmed by the recognition. If Ryan were here, he'd be beaming with pride as he said. I'm the reason his sister is safe and sound. He owes me big time, I declared. Grant chuckled, determined to ensure his presence was acknowledged. Hey, don't forget about me. It's been such a long time since we've talked, Cheyenne mused aloud, her eyes filled with a distant nostalgia. I can't help but wonder what Tori and Lexi would think of all this. Tori. Lexi? I asked, puzzled. Do I know them? Cheyenne gave me a mischievous smirk. You don't remember them? They were two of my best friends in elementary school. Tori was autistic, and you guys used to be practically inseparable. A surge of recognition washed over me. Tori and Lexi. Their names ring a bell. Well, let me refresh your memory, Cheyenne said. Tori and Lexi were sisters. Tori was the shy one, and Lexi was always the life of the party. They left our lives out of the blue one day. Why are you bringing this up now? I asked, my curiosity piqued. Because Cheyenne replied, her voice tinged with a hint of longing, we may have overcome our problems here, but that doesn't erase what happened to the people we used to know. What about Tori and Lexi? Gracie? Aubrey? The list goes on. Come find me when you're ready to dive into that rabbit hole. A few weeks later, as the long-anticipated summer break commences, a bittersweet realization dawns. While the academic rigors of the past year recede, a nagging sense of unease persists. Amidst the newfound freedom, memories linger and questions remain unanswered. The trouble is over, I remind myself, but a nagging doubt lingers. What fate befell those who were ensnared in the same web of deception? The words of Cheyenne echo in my mind, even though it's over for us, we don't know what happened to them. Her voice leads me down a labyrinthine journey of contemplation. If Peyton were to resurface, as my fears incessantly whisper, the consequences would be dire. Let's hope we never experience anything like that ever again, exclaimed Thaddeus, his voice still tinged with disbelief. Amen to that, I replied. I've had more than my fair share of drama for a lifetime. I'm not looking for a sequel. Alexis's absence, due to her singing lesson, provided us the opportunity to delve into the true catalyst behind the recent turmoil. Reflecting upon the events, I realized that while I had contributed to the drama, I had since undergone a transformation. The moral of the story. I mused. Always double-check the context before acting. Appearances can be deceiving, and it's never wise to judge based on what's right in front of you. The end epilogue a few weeks earlier after esports. I'm still stuck in this dang parking lot, Ryan Unruh exclaimed 2 hours later. The cars still had not moved. It's been 2 hours and I'm still stuck here. Ryan Unruh exclaimed. 2 more hours later. Okay, that's it, I'm walking home, Ryan Unruh exclaimed. It is said that those cars are still sitting there today, back when Ryan Fawzi was still at school. Ryan Fawzi and Tyler Thomas were walking through the hallways of Forney High School on their way to art class. Suddenly Tyler speaks up. Hey Ryan, I really feel like we forgot something. Tyler exclaimed. Like what? Ryan Fawzi asked. Ryan needed a second to think about it. What a minute. We forgot the god D***** Mountain Dew